conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised.
Billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious.
Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Thank you, John Larson. I receive your kind words on behalf of all of our courageous members of the House of Representatives who want the best for the American people. And what we can do that is best for them in the next 24 hours is to pass affordable, accessible health care for all Americans. The best for all Americans is to have 32 million more people to have health insurance in our country. The best for...
Piece of stinking filth.
Shh, say it again, Shali. This is AJ of the InfoWars. Listen to the Shaliak. This is Alex Jones of InfoWars. Listen to Shaliak on the Cold Reality News and Report.
This is the coolest thing I have ever seen.
Well, hello there.
Christmas Day 2016, 2016. Going to talk about the year that just passed. Can't believe that it is here and gone. It was here and gone. It's gone now for the most part. We're going to play some Christmas songs and goof on all these scumbags that we're supposed to look up to and that are supposedly leading America. And the goats that believe that this system is legitimate and that the news is legitimate. So let's get started. Christmas time in America. It's Christmas time in America. Once again. Oh, once again. Christmas time. Oh, Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time in America. Christmas time. I hope you got lots of presents. Christmas time. I hope you got lots of presents. Christmas time. Presents. Presents, presents under the tree. None for you, all of them for me. You got no presents. I got them all. Eggnog, eggnog in your fridge. Why is everybody so glib? Oh yeah, Christmas time. People driving around trying to kill you on the roads. Please stop trying to kill me on the highways. I hope you got some Chinese toys, the kind that have dangerous chemicals. I hope you got some toxic toys. I got toxic, toxic toys. They're only toxic if you put them in your mouth. They're extra toxic if you put them in your sauerkraut. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Only on Christmas and never again. Peace on earth all year round. No, 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 only at Christmas time. When you get out on the highways, you might end up dead ways. Christmas time. Christmas time all over the world. Unless you are a Jew, then you do something else. Christmas time in America. time in America. If you got no money for Christmas, blame Obama for the ACA, Obamacare. Maybe you had cookies last year. Now you don't because Obama's a queer. He's taking all of your health care fees. Now you don't have no cheese. Obama, you are a miserable failure. But the stupid people love you. Obama is a miserable failure. He is a liar as well. He is part of the royal bloodline. That's why he's in the White House this time. You think because his skin is dark that he couldn't be related to white folks? It totally is. George Washington's peace on earth, goodwill to men. Only on Christmas and never again. Yeah, because Americans are full of shit. American people are full of total shit. They don't know what the fuck is going on. They just want to smell their farts all day long. Americans. Santa Claus is a pedophile. But he gets all the presents all the time. Parents lie to all their children. But they feel good cause everybody does it, yeah. They don't want to admit that they buy all the presents. I'll understand. We are garbage in America. Crying all year long. Christmas comes around, you gotta be strong. Cause Obama, he loves you so much. He's gonna buy little Timmy a crutch. God bless all of us. Even Ebenezer Scrooge in his house of lust. With Santa Claus the pedophile, yeah. Santa, you are so full of shit. Start off life lying to your kids. For some strange fucking odd reason. You can't tell your kids you bought them gifts. We are so fucking stupid. We are so freaking ignorant, America. On Christmas 2016. If we have another, I'm gonna scream. But if Nibiru comes, he will blow everything up. There will be no Christmas in 2017. America, Christmas time, buy some Chinese stuff. lie to your kids. Lie, lie, lie to little Timmy. Lie, lie, lie to little Susie. Lie, lie, lie to them. Lie, lie to your children about a guy in a red suit. He is a guy in a red suit. He comes down your chimney, not like a robbery. He comes down your chimney. I don't understand how. Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time. Does that other one go? Come, they told me Barack Obama, a newborn bloodline king, Barack Obama. I have no gifts to bring to Barack Obama. I have no gifts to bring Barack Obama. Barack Obama. Barack Obama. I have no cash at Christmas time. I must rob a bank sometime. I have no cash at Christmas. I have no cash at Christmas time. I have no money. I spend it all on healthcare fees. I spend it all on healthcare. I spent it all on health, on healthcare. They don't think Obama. He is a bloodline king, Barack Obama. He is George Washington's cousin, Barack Obama. They will conquer us in time. They will take everything we have. I have no cheese for Christmas time. I spent it all on cheap wine. I spent it all on Boone's Farm. I spent it all on Boone's Farm. Boone's Farm, cheap wine. He's killing Syrian children, Barack Obama. They're killing children in the Middle East. They're killing children in the Middle East. Middle East, Middle Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. Christmas time. Jingle bells, jingle bells on Christmas time. Jingle bells at Christmas time. I said jingle bell at Christmas time. Oh, jingle bell. Oh, yeah, Christmas time. Let's go take a sleigh ride. Jingle bells all the time. Let's take a sleigh ride. And we're gonna sleigh ride. Jingle bell at Christmas time. Christmas time, jingle bell. Jingle ride, Batman smells. Robin, he laid an egg. That shit hatched, and out came a Batman. No Christmas time, jingle bell. Christmas time, Batman smells. Oh, Christmas time. Jingle bell. Going to take a sleigh ride on a jingle bell. Going to take a sleigh ride. Oh, with a jingle bell. Sleigh ride with a jingle bell. Sleigh ride with some jingle bell. Sleigh ride with your jingle bell. Jingle bell. Jingle bell, Christmas time. All I can afford is some cheap wine. Thanks to Obamacare, all I can afford is cheap wine. At Christmas time, booze for cheap apple wine. Booze for at Christmas time. I'm not drunk as I wanna be, thanks to Obamacare. Jingle bell, Christmas time. Jingle bell, jingle bell, at Christmas time. All I can afford is government cheese. Oh, please give me some organic cheese. I got no crackers, 'cause I'm a cracker. I am a cracker. I will put some cheese on myself, 'cause I'm a cracker. At Christmas time, I will put some cheese on myself, 'cause I'm a cracker. At Christmas time, I am a cracker at Christmas time. I got booze for wine. I got cheese, but it's government issue. Government issue. I got cheese from the government. My government cheese has mold at Christmas time. Oh yeah, my government cheese has mold at Christmas time. I got my Obama phone. Why don't you just leave me alone? Obama gonna give me a house before he leave the White House. He gonna give me a car before Christmas time, you know. I am just going on the mumbo. I am just gonna mumble the rest of this Christmas song for you. For you. I'm gonna mumble the rest of this Christmas song. I'm gonna mumble the rest of this lame-ass Christmas song. I'm gonna mumble down, Christmas. You, grandma. Grandma. And honey cow. Oh yeah, grandma. Grandma and honeycomb. I love holidays. It is my favorite way. I love once a honeycomb. On their face, yeah. I want to celebrate. I want to grab my I said grab my honeycomb. Grab me all year long. I want to let them know and then call your mother a horror. Donald Trump or a president. You are gonna drain the swamp with Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, oh yeah. They're gonna drain the swamp. We're gonna drain the swamp. Oh yeah, Donald Trump or a chump. If you think I'm gonna drain the swamp, you ain't gonna drain the filth in that drain. That swamp is clogged with filth in its membrane. DC is the problem. Abolish DC. Abolish DC. Quit time. Drain that swamp and full of swine. I said, Donald Trump. You don't know what you've become. I've somebody yelled at you on a plane. Aggravating time. I'm on the Trump. Grand midtime, I'm on the Trump. Joy to the world. Back in the time. Joy to the world, agreement now. Joy to the world, agreement now. That was a honeycomb. politician in Germany. Kissinger, long time Putin confidant. Putin and Henry Kissinger. Kissinger, Putin, Kissinger and Putin and Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Henry Kissinger, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump. Donald Trump, Nora O'Donnell, Charlie Rose, yeah, Charlie Rose, Charlie Rose, Nora O'Donnell. Nora O'Donnell, CBS, to turn off ISIS's account. Why won't Twitter shut down ISIS's Twitter account? I don't know why they won't. They won't turn on ISIS Twitter account. Silent night. Night, silent night, yeah, holy night, silent night, holy night, holy night. Which one is it? Which one is it? Silent night, holy night, silent night. Silent night, silent night versus holy night. Little drama boy, silent night, silent night, holy night. The bottle of wine, silent night, holy night, yeah. NYPD raid the wrong home. at Christmas time. NYPD raid the wrong home on Christmas night. NYPD, why did you raid the wrong home at Christmas time? Why did you raid the wrong home at Christmas time? Why did you raid the home? That was so bad of you to raid the wrong home at Christmas time. New Year. Oh yeah, New Year. After Christmas time. After Christmas time. 2017 comes after 16. 2017 comes after 16 at Christmas time, yeah. New Year 2017, New Year, gonna make us scream. New Year after Christmas. And Hanukkah, Christmas, then New Year. Don't forget Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. Celebrate Kwanzaa. Christmas time, cold outside, 20 degrees less than last year at Christmas time. Must be global warming, must be the earth warming. It's gonna continue to warm. We're gonna burst into flames. Oh, at Christmas time. We're gonna burst into flames at Christmas time. Burst into flames in Christmas time. Christmas time, Christmas time. Get yourself a bottle of wine. It's Christmas time. Christmas time. It's Christmas time in America. In America. In America. In America. Christmas time. Christmas time. New Year's time. It's Kwanzaa time. Don't forget Kwanzaa Hanukkah time in America. Kwanzaa time in America. Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, settle on Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas. 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 It's Christmas time. Oh, Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Oh, yeah, it's Christmas time. Christmas time, 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 Christmas time. And you see why. You see why. Christmas time. And you see why. Christmas time. Christmas time. Christmas time. And you see why. Merry Christmas. Do you see why? You see why Christmas time. You see why Christmas time again. Again. Time. And you see why. It's Christmas time. And you see why. It's holy night. Silent night. Which would you rather have, a holy night or a silent night? Last Christmas I busted a thought, and the very next day your face melted away. I can't do that one. Father's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day. Valentine's, Valentine's, Valentine. Mother's Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, Father's Day. Father's Day, Mother's Day. Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Day. One big holiday. Holiday, holiday, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you and yours, to you and yours. Happy holidays, happy holidays. Happy days to you. Have a happy and healthy holiday in the new year. Have a happy, healthy holiday. Stay away from your doctor, 'cause he's killing you. Oh yeah, stay away from your doctor, 'cause he's killing you. He's killing you. High cholesterol, high cholesterol. Stay away from statins. Stay away from statin drugs. They're killing you. They will make you forget your name. Statin drugs, they are so lame. Stay away from your doctor. Stay away from your doctor. Doesn't know shit about the human body, but he knows how to write a prescription to kill you. Doctors are so very uncool. They are so very uncool. But you think that you need them, you really don't. They're killing you, your doctor. They're killing you. They don't know what to do except write you a prescription for death. Doctor, you are a fraud. I never liked that show named Maude. I never got it, I never understood that show Maude. I never got it. Was it part of psychological programming? Like All in the Family, you fucking meathead. Archie Bunker hated the Jews. All in the Family. And blacks too. Archie Bunker, you are a freak. You said your son-in-law was a meathead. He was a meathead. He is a disgusting liberal douchebag today. Rob Reiner Ray. I don't understand why that bald fat fuck is on television. Rob Reiner, you are lame. You are so filled with shame, meathead. You are talentless garbage. I don't understand, but I do on Christmas. I know why on Christmas. Rob Reiner, you are filthy garbage. You played Zoe Deschanel's father. I don't know why. She's so pretty and you're not. Jamie Lee Curtis played her mother. She is pretty. She eats yogurt to poop right. To poop right. Jamie Lee Curtis, you were in Halloween. That makes me want to scream. Jamie Lee. Oh, Jamie Lee. Your father was Tony Curtis. He was in a movie called The Manitou. The Manitou. Does anyone remember the Manitou? I do. Manitou with Tony Curtis. Tony Curtis, you are an American actor that was in movies. You had a daughter, and your wife was stabbed in a Hitchcock movie. In a Hitchcock movie. Tony Curtis, your wife was so hot. Your daughter is too much a lot. Jamie Lee. You could have been the Bionic Woman, not Lindsay Wagner or something. It would have been, they should have two Bionic Women. Christmas holiday. It's such a pretty day on Christmas. Singing about Jamie Lee Curtis and her mother and her father. Jamie Lee, you are the one for me. Jamie Lee. Oh, Jamie Lee. Because this is a family show, I can't sing about the things I know. Jamie. Yeah. Christmas Sunday morning on UCY. On UCY. There's enough of that, huh? I remember last year doing a Christmas show. I think the weird thing is that this is the first. Honestly, I think it's the first time that Christmas has fallen on a Sunday since I started podcasting on UCY. I'm a bald-headed guy on UCY. So what the fuck is going on out there, people? It was an hour of music. Hopefully that will grace the internet airwaves. Sometimes, it all blends together and sounds like one song, I know. But it's there's that tie. I put it in a box. And it's like, where the fuck is that brown tie? Where the fuck is that brown tie? I got a little gadget for crit mass. Listen, it's a little zombie head. Little zombie head. Stop. Little zombie head there from The Walking Dead. Little zombie head there, The Walking Dead there. Mm-hmm. All right, so wow, a lot of things, happening, setting us up for 2017. The truck thing in Germantown, and the killing of the Russian ambassador this week. I think it was this week. Some news, man. I am. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to see what's going on. Is anybody even listening this morning? Is anybody even listening there? Over there at that place called UCY.tv there? Oh, yeah, and of course we had a Russian military jet crash with 92 people on board. It was 92 of them. What's going on there? Good morning. What's your song? I don't know. I didn't sing your song. The Anon song. Oh, the Anon song. Was that gut wrenching? I mean, I guess you all kind of hung out for that. I mean, I guess it must have been entertaining. The little bummer. What is it? I've got no cash, you see. I spent it all on healthcare fees. I've got no cash for Christmas. I spent it all to keep myself well in Obama's hell. That is one version of that song that really kind of stuck with me. Very, very, very a beautiful version of that song, with David Bowie, who died, I believe it was this year. Was it this year? Was it this year? I don't know. The way the time's going, it's what are you gonna do? I mean, it just goes. And this is the time of year where, not only are you supposed to be thankful on Thanksgiving, but it's Christmas Day, and there are people out there that are just living in absolute hell on earth. And the sad part is, there are a lot of children out there, and in Syria that country's been raped and pillaged by, basically, the global system that's always been in place, the one that Clint talks about so much, the fiction, this, all roads lead to Rome, the Vatican, and then of course they have their chosen ones and all these other, their Trotskyites and their Leninites and all these different types that they've used throughout history. Now they're really they've done that same thing, because so many countries were decimated. World War I was the Russian Revolution was going on over there, and it really wasn't a revolution of people, actual legitimate Russian people overthrowing the Russian government. It was the global banking system just decimating a Christian country, decimating and crushing and killing a country. And then, of course, pretty much the same type of thing that happened. Of course, all the people in Germany faced the wrath of the Allied forces because, of course, they were behind all of it. Everyone there supported everything that happened in that country. So they were decimated and killed and raped and pillaged. They're pretty much the same thing that happened in Russia in 1917, 18, 19, 20. If you do your research, Andrei Solzhenitsyn will explain largely what took place in that country. Pretty much the same thing that's going on in America today. The same way, the same blueprint is being run. The same thing is being done to a lot of. Let's see what we got here. Let's go. And I wanted to, I often enjoy listening to Paul Joseph Watson. I mean, even though I know that he is part of the InfoWars machine, I just want to play this here, the dumbest, most racist video ever. And of course, Watson always figures out the agenda. Let's give this a listen. Oh, there you go. I'm going to turn this off.
You could do a little bit better in 2017.
Here's what I think you can do better.
Even though
they want to do that,
I know that he
That's
is.
not me. Hey, who's wrong one. Let me go back.
First of all,
all right. Let me go back. Back. How do I go? Oh, I go back that way. Okay, click on that.
hey, fellow white guys. Hey, MTV.
It's about to be a new year. And there's a few things we think you could do a little bit better in 2017.
Here's what I think you can do better in 2017. How about you stop collectively demonizing an entire group of people based on their skin color? How about you stop trying to be the reverse KKK for hipsters? Racism is so not cool. I'm talking to you, Francesca.
First off, try to recognize that America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Really? That'll be why multimillionaire black men and women completely dominate sports, music, entertainment, and culture then.
I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man.
America was never great for anyone who wasn't a white guy.
Right, because it's not like you've had a black president for the last 8 years, is it?
What does that mean?
Can we all just agree that Black Lives Matter isn't the opposite of All Lives Matter? Black lives just matter. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
Can we all just agree that saying all lives matter isn't racist? Let's not overcomplicate it. Plus, the opposite of Black Lives Matter is Black Lives Don't Matter. And no one is saying that. So what the hell are you talking about? Oh yeah, and Black Lives Matter isn't just a phrase, it's a movement whose ideological guru is a cop-killing terrorist. A movement whose violent, hateful rhetoric has led to black cops being killed.
Also, Blue Lives Matter isn't a thing.
Actually, it is a thing. It's the crazy notion that the lives of police officers matter. Blue Lives Matter is a thing because cops, many of them black, kept getting attacked and murdered. Because of Black Lives Matter's violent rhetoric.
We have dead cops because of that hands up, don't shoot live.
Stop bragging about being woke. Stop saying woke.
Woke.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Yeah, learn what being a retard is, and then stop doing it.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Mansplaining.
Mansplaining. A sexist slur created by social justice warriors to invalidate someone's opinion based on their gender. Okay, so overt racism isn't enough. After all, this wouldn't be an MTV news video without a healthy dose of misandry to top it off.
Mansplaining.
We all love Beyonce.
You got to watch this video because for about 3 seconds, there's a picture of Trump just like, it looks like him. And he's, I'm pretty sure it's him. And he's like dancing very weirdly. Let me go back and see that again.
Mansplaining.
Oh, by the way, MTV is a fucking disease.
We all love Beyonce. And yeah, she's black. So of course she cares about black issues.
Yeah, Beyonce cares so much about black issues that she dyes her hair blonde and bleaches her skin to try and look as white as possible. Oh yeah, and a minute ago you were saying America wasn't great for non-white people. Now you're saying how great Beyonce has it.
Feel free to take Kanye West, though. You guys can have him.
Deal.
Nobody who has...
Right, so as soon as Kanye West communicates civilly with Barack, listen to me, civilly with Donald Trump, then you take Kanye away. I mean, I agreed. Get rid of him. I never ever want to hear him. I don't know what his music even means, and anybody who likes his music has got to have the worst fucking taste in the world in music, I guess.
Black friends says that they have black friends. And just because you have black friends doesn't mean you're not racist.
That's racist!
Okay, so do you have black friends? Yes. You just said you have black friends. You must be racist. Oh, you don't have black friends. Well, why not? You must be racist.
That's racist!
Guys, we know nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but that's no excuse to avoid the treadmill, Chubby.
But honestly, you could do a little better in 2017.
Honestly, MTV News, maybe you should take your own advice and do a little better by not making dumbass racist videos that demonize an entire group of people based on their skin color.
Some of you guys do a great job. Some of you don't.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys didn't do a great job at not being racist, given that you deleted this video on YouTube after it received an over 100-to-1 thumbs down ratio. Then uploaded it again, claiming a graphics issue, then deleted it again.
2017 can't be worse than this, all right? Because this is bad.
I agree. That video was bad. In fact, it was fucking terrible, and I can see why you deleted it. Now do us all a favor, MTV News, and delete your channel.
Life. All right, so that video. Oh, I'm not even logged in here. Shit. Hold on a second, folks. Hold on to that a second there, folks. Hopefully I remember the password for this. Ugh. Nope, that's not it. Oh, man. That's bad. So yeah, I forgot the password to that. Let me see, what is it? No, wait, okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. No way. No way, bro. Yep, that's not going to work. Shit. I'm going to have to go back over on that. Anyway. Sorry, folks. I won't be able to communicate with you. I forgot what the freaking password was. Anyway. So, yeah. So, you've got MTV, which is just an abomination. And you've got all of these absolute... You've got all of these young, manipulated Trotskyites that want to, that fit in or don't fit in for whatever fucking reason. And so they start, they put them on television and then they give them a reason to, who's not going to want to, I guess, be put on TV? And so, as a result of that, then they get out there and be like, oh, all I have to do is say this. And maybe most of them don't even believe what the rhetoric that they're spouting. But they are really taking a generation of these. And, of course, the universities, these diseased fucking universities, in the diseased, education system. The whole system of education is a fucking abomination. It's always been an abomination since the Rockefellers bought up and controlled the National Education Association, or the NEA, and the goal was to turn your children into fucking collectivized idiots. Now, it doesn't work for everybody, or it doesn't work against everybody, because, some people understand and get it, but they're just duped in other ways. They're duped by, terrorism, the war on terror, or the war on disease, which when they say that there's going to be a war on a particular thing, that means they're going to create more of it. Because they say they don't want their prediction to come up inaccurate, so they will, they'll make all of their predictions come true. It's like they don't want to be wrong about anything, and I think and I pointed that out a number of times. People will not change their. They will not want to admit that they were wrong about something, so they will be wrong about it until really, really bad things happen, and even then, you won't be able to get people to actually realize that they were wrong and that they were deceived, because they can't possibly be that. They can't possibly be that naive to be manipulated on such a mass scale. But we know that that is indeed the case. So you've got a bunch of walking dead out there who have no idea how bad they've been manipulated in every aspect of their lives. And let's see what we got here. I'll have to figure that out later. I don't even know what the hell that password is. Anyway, so you see why there is. I don't know why this thing's not changing. Oh, there it goes. We've got a lot of very, very good programming on this network, and you should probably give it a listen, And we've got On the Brink with Jeff Wefferson. That's Saturdays. Voice of Rebellion Radio. That's on Sundays. Live Free FM, Sunday nights. Got Cold Reality Radio here on Sunday. You got the Anti-Media Radio 5 nights a week. Truth on the Tracks with very, very awesome journalist Brandon Turbeville. The Nuclear Hot Seat will tell you all the nuclear things that are going on. Geoengineering Watch with Dane Wigington. He's still on the ship. Rock the Boat with Ron Stevens. He's going to be coming up next. We've got Truther Talk Radio. We've got our Interesting Times on Saturday evenings. Double Cross Radio on Thursday. And what else do we have? We've got the Liam Sheff Show, the American Heretic. Wednesday evenings, Unlock the Door with Michael Cross. Primer Time with Michael and Nick. Tuesdays on UCY.tv. Before the First Cut with Jules, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 Eastern Time. Character Matters with Dr. George Simon. Sunday evenings. Anti-Tyranny News, Wednesdays and Fridays. Behind the Woodshed with Hal Anthony, Sundays at 3. He'll most likely be on today's Salvener event, Saturday in the AM. Birth of a New Dimension with Aurora and the Flying Rainbow. Continual Condition. And Post Ignorance with Kevin Blanche. He will drop F-bomb after F-bomb. All right, so plenty of programming here on UCY. if you like what you're hearing, get on there and donate a little bit of funds for the operation that you'll spend so much time and so much effort to bring to the internet airwaves. Clint is going to be printing his book at the end of January. And again, over at strawmanstory.info. So we got the final draft, and most of the editing is finished. The work will be printed finally on January 31st. A total of over 1,100 pages once finished and conformed to a smaller format. Let's see what we got. You can download it you can download the electronic version of it at strawmanstory.info. And let's see, for those who donated after January 3rd, at least $40. As this work is not for sale in any way, you can get a copy of the book, and volume 2 is soon to follow. So it's a pretty big endeavor, and let's help out UCY. Let's help out Clint. You can also hear Clint on Sundays at 5 Eastern Time, I believe it is. A rebroadcast of his Corporation Nation podcast that he did for a number of years. And that is, again, Sundays at 5, I believe 5 to 7. Clint's journey in the fiction, realizing that this is a fiction, that this is a system that was created for a relatively small group of people to be able to control everyone else. It is a corporation. It is a global corporation. And if they decide that you die, you die. It's the way it goes. And it's sad. It's not a happy story, but that's just the way it goes. It's their creation. It's what they do. They do what they want with their creation. And they use their family members to enforce and benefit from this fictional creation, this fiction known as the United States government. In Latin, government, mind, control of the mind, or mind control. It's that simple. Your mind is controlled, and it's for them, a glorious, glorious fictional invention. And you get, you get some of the spoils, but you also get other nasty little things too. They need you to participate in the fiction for it to be real. So again, help out UCY. If you want a copy of Clint's books or coming up, he will, get over to strawmanstory.info and make a contribution there, and he will send you a copy of his creation. So, when the people out there, and prior to maybe a couple of weeks prior to the election, I stopped at a rally, one of maybe not so many, and spoke to people and let them know that, to what to be aware of. And we've seen it. We've seen this already. We look at, Kissinger, a longtime Putin confidant, sidles up to Trump back in the 1990s. Henry Kissinger, the legendary former U.S. Secretary of State turned global consultant, baby killer as well. I should put that on his resume because he is a killer. He is a killer for the global families that basically created this fiction that we all live in. And he encountered an intriguing young Russian and proceeded to ask him a litany of questions about his background. I worked in intelligence, Vladimir Putin finally told him, according to First Person, a 2000 autobiography cobbled together from hours of interviews, excuse me, with the then unfamiliar Russian leader, to which Kissinger replied, "All decent people got their start in intelligence. I did too." Okay, and then it came out of nowhere and became the Secretary of State. As Putin climbed the ranks in the Kremlin, eventually becoming the autocratic president he is today, he and Kissinger kept up a warm rapport, even as the United States and Russia grew further apart, which is always part of the agenda, because you need these fictional entities to do exactly what they're doing now, which is basically World War III has already begun, and the players are the U.S. and Russia and China as well. So it's just in its embryonic stages. Kissinger is one of the few Americans to meet frequently with Putin. One former U.S. ambassador recently recalled, along with movie star Steven Seagal and ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson, the likely next Secretary of State. Now, as Donald Trump signals that he wants more cooperation or more cooperative relationship with Moscow, the 93-year-old Kissinger is positioning himself as a potential intermediary, meeting with President-elect in private and flattering him in public, like Trump, like he did with Obama, saying, he's going to lead a new world order, blah, 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 shit in his mouth, like fucking rolling around in his fucking pie hole. Like Trump, Kissinger has also cast doubt on intelligence agencies' conclusion that Russia sought to sway the election in Trump's favor, telling a recent interviewer they were hacking, but the use they allegedly made of this hacking eludes me. So we got Kissinger, who we know is tied directly to the very inner circle of the global control. I mean, every U.S. president is all about Henry Kissinger and has nothing but good things to say about a man who ordered the slaughter of many men, women, and children around the world. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, this is their system, and their system is to kill. Their system is to kill. Their system is to create war, is to create conflict where there is none. And then the media, which is part of this, that has lied to us from the very beginning, since the inception of media in paper format, and then, what it is today, consolidated into 5 entities from, the Globalist magazine, all this shit is all controlled by 5, at least 4 or 5 entities. And that's why you get, and honestly, I do not believe that Hillary was ever supposed to win this thing. I believe that that Trump was the choice. He is the outsider, the cousin of, and a cousin of Hillary Clinton. He is in this position, and as you can see, it's creating more of a division in the country. If Hillary had won, it would be like, that sucks. Buy more guns. And so the choice for the most chaos is Donald Trump. The choice for the most chaos is Donald Trump. And then what does the Fed do, the Federal Reserve do that they haven't done? They raise interest rates. After what, like fucking 8 years? So the outcome is not going to be good. It looks like the stock market has been elevated. It's been given a booster shot. But overall, it's not going to bring things back from where they are or where they're going. It's just the back and forth, the back and forth. Sie back and sie vor, What we got here? So what do we got here? Syrian civil war is the reenactment of Soviet-Afghan jihad. George Santayana presciently said that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. The only difference between the Afghan jihad back in the 1980s that spawned the Islamic jihadists like the Taliban and Al-Qaeda for the first time in history, and the Libyan and Syrian civil war, which was all NATO-backed and 2011 onward, is that the Afghan jihad was an overt jihad. Back then, the Western political establishments and their mouthpiece, the mainstream media, used to openly brag that the CIA provides all those AK-47s, RPGs, and Stingers to Pakistani intelligence agencies, which then distributes those deadly weapons among the Afghan Mujahideen, or the freedom fighters, to combat the Soviet troops in Afghanistan. Now it's covert, and but they'll tell you that it's that what's happening over in Syria is Assad's own people trying to oust him out of there. The moderate rebels and all this other bullshit. It's all a joke. It is the global system with all of their ill-gotten, gains, using it to manipulate and, geographically change the Middle East, of course, for the Greater Israel Project, because nobody's even mentioning them and their involvement in it in the background. But then again, they don't really have to do anything because they just get everybody to do things for them. So it's pretty cool if you can manipulate people on that scale. NYPD suspends officer who posted Snapchat of Brooklyn family in handcuffs. A family in Brooklyn is outraged after NYPD officers raided their home, put everyone in handcuffs, and then posted a picture of them on a social media with a caption, "Merry Christmas, it's NYPD." The ordeal led to the suspension of an officer. The Brownsville residents were so upset that they did not they not only did they file a report, but they also called 911. The worst part was the Snapchats. Kimberly Santiago said that was what really got me. Yeah, we are falling apart as a society by agenda, by design, and this is what we do to each other. This is what we do to each other. We treat each other absolutely, incredibly awfully. And it's only a matter of time before, both sides are fighting, civil war. It's going to, and everybody, each side really kind of has its thing, it has it, there's some fucked up things going on from elevated commoner, the police officer, to a low level commoner, the citizen. And then, of course, there's bad things going on there. When you see a lot of these things happen, it's only a matter of time. It's going to, and already has taken on a life of itself. And, the cities are going to burn. And that's what they want. That's what the people that have created this system, the old world order, want to see the cities on fire. They want to see people killing people, commoners killing commoners. They want to see, and if they can't make it happen in general, they will stage an incident where somebody gets killed and then let it go, just let it proliferate. That's what happens when you own the media and you can create productions like most people are not even aware of that happen, that we've seen on that tube, that were directed and designed to create an outcome that will lock the people down, that will lock the citizens down. Now it's weird because Obama signed an extension of the NDAA for 2017. I'm not seeing that over here on Blacklisted News. And of course, there's people in the intelligence system or the intelligence community, ex-intelligence, that are basically saying this thing that happened over in Germany, this thing that happened in, these aren't just people just saying, I'm going to do this because, they're staged. They're staged. Yeah. What else we got here? Russia supporting a Libyan general who was a former CIA asset. So that's, it's all. I mean, all these things that are happening. This is all being like totally manipulated from both sides in both of these nations, and it's bringing us to a conflict that is going to, obviously going to change. World War III is going to fucking change everything. There's no doubt. world's largest hedge fund to replace managers with an artificial intelligence. UFC fighter turned cop fired for reporting fellow cop for rape. Saudi Arabia has been decimating Yemen for, the UN recorded the UN does nothing. Honestly, the UN is just there to give the illusion that there is some kind of global order and that they're going to step in and do something when they have done nothing. Which is, again, part of the agenda. Syria was part of the agenda. Iraq, Libya, the migrants. That was all part of the plan to displace all of these people, get them into Germany, get them into Italy, get them into all areas, and to displace a very key demographic in Libya and Syria, the young men that they would otherwise have to fight and or would fight to protect Syria or Libya or whatever. So they had to displace, and it has a dual, it's very duplicitous, the whole thing, because it's going to move them out of where they don't want them anymore, Libya, Syria, and get them into other countries, Germany, Italy, and some of these other European establishments, and to create a clash of civilizations, and and that's what they're calling this. This truck that drove through the mall. That it was, one of these migrants, and of course, they're being indoctrinated over there as well. The German people are being indoctrinated by the puppet Merkel, aka scab on the ass of the world, just another puppet, another manipulated so-called leader, Merkel. Some of them are as gross outside as they are inside. Trump is now America's arms deal negotiator. His meetings with the heads of America's two largest weapons makers show that he will play a role in hammering out contracts. Negotiations for the Pentagon's next batch of 100 F-35 Joint Strike Fighters don't technically resume until next month, but they're clearly underway. So, German security agencies had watched the Berlin market attacker for a year. It always seems to be the case, even at the things that happen in this country, that they've been watching him, that they've been doing this, that they've been doing that. Monsanto, Bayer, two destructive corporate conglomerates become one. Big agriculture tech giants, Monsanto, maker of Agent Orange, genetically modified seeds, weed whacking chemicals that most likely kill dogs, and Bayer, famed for manufacturing poison gas for concentration camp use, heroin, baby aspirin, and systemic pesticides, are merging, much to the horror of food security advocates, consumers, and non-zombies worldwide. CNN Money declared the Monsanto-Bayer merger the year's biggest takeover. Symbolically, the merger of the century at $66 billion. It's also the biggest cash transaction on record. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders describes the mega deal as a threat to all Americans. Yeah. Well, yeah. And will you do anything about it, Bernie? No. You'll fall too. You'll fail and you will fall and take it in the ass like you did by Hillary, knowing that you did not even have a shot because of the Clinton machine. You did exactly what you were supposed to do, and you played the role that you were supposed to play. School to prison pipeline complete. New law makes schoolyard fights a felony. On January 1st, 2017, the state of Missouri will implement a public school policy sure to accelerate the descent into police state dystopia. The Hazelwood School District put out a memo to parents and guardians stating that, according to Missouri statute, fights at school or on buses will be treated as felonies, which can result into and up to 4 years in prison. Yay. What chance do the commoner children have? Not much. Especially in Missouri, or what I call Middle Earth. Google employee sues the company for internal spying program. White House claims over 80% of low-skilled jobs will be automated. And, of course, as I said, unruly JetBlue passenger kicked off plane for accosting Ivanka Trump, saying, your father is ruining the country. Apparently, they have no idea the damage that Obama right. Okay, that's right, because the mainstream media lies for all the criminal activity and then lied for Hillary Clinton saying that she was going to win, hands down. Nearly 95% of all jobs during Obama era were part-time or contract. A new study by economists from Harvard and Princeton indicates that 94% of the 10 million new jobs created during the Obama era were temporary positions. The study shows the jobs were temporary, contract positions, or part-time gigs, gig jobs in a variety of fields. Female workers suffered the most heavily in this economy as work in traditionally feminine fields like education and medicine declined during the era. The global war on cash, lessons from history. In case you haven't noticed, we're all being hit up by some pretty powerful institutions who are trying their best to convince us that it is an inevitability that physical cash will go the way of the dodo. Berlin truck terror suspect and the curious matter of ID papers left behind. Yeah, get in there and then do this and then leave papers behind that they'll pick up, and then that will be the story. That will be the narrative. Let's see. San Francisco billionaire launches plan to house homeless in shipping containers. Well, this is almost over there, folks. Christmas Day broadcast, Whole Reality Radio. Newt Gingrich admits that Donald Trump no longer wants to drain the swamp. President-elect Donald Trump campaigned on a promise to drain that swamp in Washington of corruption, but now that he's preparing to move into the White House, Gingrich said the Manhattan real estate mogul is looking to distance himself from that message. I'm told he now just disclaims that. He now says it was cute, but he doesn't want to use it anymore. The former House Speaker and a close Trump advisor said the drain the swamp message in an NPR interview published. U.S. state police have spent millions on Israeli phone cracking tech. It's actually the Flint water crisis with the lead. There are 3,000 other communities that have the same toxic water issue. New York cop turned coke dealer arrested after police find 4 bodies in his yard. Isn't that great? There it is. Nearly 3,000 U.S. communities have lead levels higher than Flint. A Reuters investigation this week uncovered nearly 3,000 different communities across the U.S. with lead levels higher than those found in Flint, Michigan, which have been the center of an ongoing water contamination crisis since 2014. The investigation found that many of the hotspots are receiving little attention or funding. Local health care advocates said they hope the reporting will spur action from influential community leaders, right? And all of the communities Reuters investigated had lead levels at least 2 times higher than Flint's, more than 1,000 or 4 times higher. And in most cases, the local data covered the 5 to 10 year period through 2015. The analysis states. So, filter that water. No wonder you got a bunch of fucking retards walking around like this, man. The Walking Dead, man. Hey, how's your water? Oh, great. The lead's really good here. What? Lead, the walking lead. Paul Krugman says to join the Trump administration, you have to be a white nationalist or a conspiracy theorist. Come on, Krugman. He's blowing Israel, so you're safe. All right, folks. So let's see what we got here. Anything else? Any big stories out there? Netanyahu lashes out at Obama over UN vote. How dare you not blow us? How dare you blow us, Netanyahu? Trump cheered at Christmas Eve Mass. Jason Miller backs out of Trump White House job. I don't want to be a nationalist. No. Armed man demands store clerk stream robbery live on Facebook. Is California splitting away? Group believes will happen. Woman gives birth in McDonald's. So, You know, it's all bullshit and it's bad for you. Pope says Christmas hostage to materialism, God in shadows. Honestly, who gives a fuck what this jackass fucking says? Christmas has been taken hostage by dazzling materialism that puts God in the shadows and blinds many to the needs of hungry and the migrants and the war weary. I love everybody. I'm the voice of reason. I represent the Vatican and Rome and everything that is awful in the world. Hey, Francis, shut the fuck up. As you fucking live in a fucking gold palace. Eat shit. Eat some holy shit. Drink some Boone's Farm. Yeah, St. Peter Square. Christmas hostage. I'm the Pope. And Queen Elizabeth. This is service due to illness. First time in 30 years.
220 rounds a minute, try to stop them. Don't put that on your wish list, that's retarded babble. Protesters make the hit list soon as they start to rabble. They are nothing but fishes in the barrel. It doesn't have to be Christmas for a carol. Some decorate with ornamental decorum. Some perform shocking on Hanukkah and Purim. That's where my job come in. I am a blessing to the mercenary for the corporation selling weapons to them. Any potential competitor step into them. I'm authorized to knock them out and stick a GPS into them. They want